We were watching TV and saw your warnings.
It's our responsibility to be on the air and inform people when there's life-threatening weather.
This cell is bearing down on Wilson. These storms have been moving so fast.
There were a lot of trees down right around that area.
The National Weather Service radar was offline for maintenance. That's the reason why we have the live dual Doppler 5000. We've got you covered because we have a live radar to show you what's happening.
I knew it was going to be bad, but we were lucky.
This is a critical time for people.
The gusts are pretty significant.
It is a powerful storm right now, Category 3.
All citizens are ordered to leave now.
We are not only getting the wind, we're getting sandblasted.
This water is really rising quickly. I mean, it is deep.
Get safe right now and get out of there when you can.
You see the wind that almost wants to take my hat off. You probably, I hope you can, see the rain that's coming in at an angle. It's stinging quite a bit.
I can't be out there right now. We have seen big pieces of sheet metal just flying by us.
This rain that is relentless.
Relentless rain.
Relentless. Driving sideways rain. Cannot remember the last time it was not raining.
This is huge historic flooding.
This is a very angry area, like rising very rapidly.
They're expecting this to get to 24 feet.
The Little River is over the road.
This is a life-threatening matter. If you are refusing to leave, notify your legal next of kin.
Going door to door and saying, hey, you got to get out of here.
This is what has been happening.
Hundreds of water rescues.
We've witnessed a lot of this heroism right in front of our cameras.
It goes to show you what heroes are made of.
Florence has become deadly, exceedingly deadly.
A tree crashed on a house, trapping 3 people. The firefighters came out with looks on their faces of sadness and prayed.
Wow, that's the first time we have seen that.
How emotional it was.
What a terrible moment.
This is my father-in-law's home. And my daughter and my grandson.
A sailboat lifted out of the marina behind me.
This giant boat is sitting in somebody's yard.
There is no gas. The gas lines were 4 hours long. I'm talking 30, 40 cars down the road. We had a woman this morning who came and brought Ed and I gas. She said, no, this is mine and I'm going to give it to you. So she gave us 2.5 gallons of gas. I want you to meet my guardian angel. This is Lynetta Carlson.
WRAL breaking news tracker first on the scene. I can tell you there's a school to my right.
We are following breaking news in the WRAL News Live Center. It is still a very active scene, and we're getting these live pictures into our...
WRAL is monitoring more than 200 traffic cameras. You can avoid this part of I-40 this morning.
It's what you can expect every morning.
You wake up with the Triangle's largest news team.
You can check the weather on your phone, but I'll show you what's behind this number that will really impact your day.
Tomorrow morning, every morning, watch WRAL Mornings.
We are following some breaking news right now. We've just confirmed an officer has been shot.
Multiple roads in West Raleigh are shut down, including I-440 and Western Boulevard, as authorities investigate.
We are getting information from inside of this neighborhood near the Teakwood area. I'm actually receiving text messages as we speak from one of our viewers who reached out to me. They say it looks like it is really an intense search for whoever is responsible for this shooting.
Right after that shooting, Catherine and Gerald, they say he ran about a half a mile and ended up in this storage closet. What he didn't know was that it locked from the outside, and he got locked in.
An explosion being reported in Durham.
A deadly gas explosion in downtown Durham, injuring more than a dozen people.
1 person is dead out of this. 15 people have been taken to the hospital.
A building destroyed. A school evacuated.
Because you could just tell, you could smell the smoke wafting in the air that this was a pretty bad situation.
And a community shaken.
I just saw a whole lot of smoke, a lot of flames, people crying, talking about people had died. It was very sad. It's a sad day in Durham.
Breaking news right here on WRAL at noon. At least 1 person is dead,
15 others transported to local hospitals after explosion and fire at a building in downtown Durham.
Right now, first responders are frantically searching for any additional victims. And we've been showing you live pictures now for about 90 minutes or so here from Sky 5 of downtown Durham. We thank you for joining us. Emergency crews have been working for nearly 2 hours.
Everything was going pretty normally until just a giant concussive sort of blast hit the building and the windows rattled. The power went out immediately. And then for a little while, it was just kind of panic as people tried to figure out what was going on.
What do you think when you look down there? I mean, we understand 15 in the hospital, 1 casualty, 1 very serious injury.
That's crazy. It's so sad. You know, to think that people are dying from this.
We just felt like our whole office shook all of a sudden, and the lights were flickering, and everyone just shot up because clearly something bad had happened.
Incredible, just incredible. And again, we're several blocks away from the scene of the blast with that video.
Contractors were using a boring machine or a drilling machine when they struck a 2-inch gas line.
You can see now that the fire has been contained, the smoke has stopped billowing there. You can really get a look at the damage from the explosion itself. And also look at that car there on Duke Street, right there at Main Street. The airbags are deployed, the windshield is damaged. There's another bus, we've been showing that bus earlier out on Duke Street in front of that collapsed building where the windows are blown out, the top is blown off, the hatch there, that escape hatch is blown off the roof of that big van.
I want you to take a look at what's left of this bus. You can see doors are gone, windows shattered. The driver, he says he was sitting right here in the front row. 2 rows back was a passenger when all of a sudden he says he felt that explosion.
Right after the explosion, I said 2 things. I said, I love you, Jesus, and I love you, Gina. And I actually felt at that time that I wasn't going to see her again.
It's pretty devastating when I see you on TV.
It's a sad day in Durham.
We will be right here with you to get through this together.
It can happen quickly. Flames and smoke spreading through the house, leaving little time to escape. Would your family be able to get out if your home caught fire like that? I'm 5 on your side's Monica Liberty. Check it out. We're here with firefighters to show you, along with smoke detectors, the one thing your family can do to be able to survive a house fire. Firefighters going into battle. This raging fire, though, intentionally set to teach all of us a life-saving lesson. I was in that home before the fire started and right after to help share an important message about surviving a fire. Smoke and gases fill the living room and start moving into the bedroom with the open door. The room with the door closed, no problem. 4, 5, 6 minutes in, you see the difference. Anyone in the room with the open door would be in serious trouble. Hubbard says it comes down to one critical question.
Do you want to hear him one time that night and never hear him again?
It's an issue gaining attention after a series of WRAL investigations. Join us tonight for an update on the battle over benefits for firefighters who say job-related cancer is killing them. Tonight at 6 on WRAL News.
Adam Owens begins our live team coverage.
Our cameras were there as Jacob Thrasher returned home tonight.
Breaking news now out of Durham.
That statement that you mentioned.
Right here, you can see all the damage that was caused.
Let's check it out on Futurecast.
Coverage you can count on. WRAL News.
So we want to bring you up to date with a situation that's been going on, some breaking news in Chapel Hill. This is some video taken about 45 minutes ago or so. Police interacting with protesters as they were trying to surround the Silent Sam statue on campus. You can see smoke bombs were ignited.
Right now they're linking arms around the statue, backs to the statue, faces out.
And then it seems that the chants are getting louder and louder, saying tear it down.
We take you through the video of when it came down, which was at 9:20 this evening. And as Silent Sam came down, protesters kicked and threw dirt on the statue as it was down. All night, WRAL has been here with multiple crews.
And this is what is left of Silent Sam. It is now covered in tarp, but it has been toppled from that pedestal. And you can see around the base of it some of these poles and these wires that were all used to tear this down.
In the safety of the Wake County suburb stands a tree with a dark secret about an accusation, law enforcement, torture, and a man left with the scars of injustice. Watch the full story Thursday at 6 on WRAL News.
We've been following the stories that matter most, making sense of the chaos, the confusion, bringing you facts and unbiased analysis. The Vote, Decision 2018, November 6th on WRAL.
Employees who quietly make sure schools operate smoothly marched alongside teachers like bus drivers and custodians.
Bus drivers don't get the kids to school. There's no one to teach.
Even librarians are being eliminated in some school districts.
Librarians, I like to think, are like the heart of the school. We work with every student. I know every student at my school by name.
My first teacher of color was in public school.
You remember your first?
I do.
Why?
Probably because I've never had one before.
North Carolina schools are lacking in teacher diversity.
Our communities are changing. Our recruitment strategies are going to have to change.
What's behind the numbers and why students could benefit from closing the teacher diversity gap.
If you are a teacher of color out there and you want to work for us, we have a job for you.
WRAL investigates.
Bad smelling, bad tasting, in some cases dangerous water. WRAL investigates decades of records that list hundreds of EPA violations all over North Carolina. Is your community on the list? Tonight at 6.
The Neuse River flows from the Triangle down to the coast of North Carolina. WRAL takes a close look at the health of the Neuse River and its impact on you.
The river is in very poor health.
This is unacceptable. This is my river, and there's a bunch of dead fish floating in here.
Don't run and jump in. I don't know if the water's clean.
Whole ecosystems, they're going to start collapsing.
To lose it, I think, would be devastating.
Without clean water, we lose everything. Everything.
Wake up.
It's unacceptable. I want things changed.
Right now, the most serious threat to the Neuse River are the people in our state house.
We need to get people in government to start doing their job.
In 1990, this remarkable river was on the brink of catastrophe. Nutrient pollution was robbing these waters of so much oxygen. Millions of fish were dying every day. Toxic algal blooms threatened this river as a source of drinking water. And people complained of strange burning sensations after swimming in these waters.
I want to be able to bring my kids. I came and played in this river as a child. I want to bring my kids. I want to keep bringing them out here to be able to play and not have to worry about, well, don't run and jump in. I don't know if the water's clean.
Watch WRAL News.
Not finished with the rain yet, right, Mike?
It's rain, clouds, fog, drizzle. It's just that nasty mess.
But it's not all bad news. We have a big pattern change for next week.
For breaking news and weather, coverage you can count on.
It is busy. We do have new tornado warnings to share with you impacting Orange County and northwestern Durham County until 4:30. And you can see on the radar view, if we take this full screen so everybody at home can see the wide view and see all the detail on what's going on, what we're looking at, the red outlined areas, those are tornado warnings. The yellow outlined areas are severe thunderstorm warnings. We refer to these as polygons. So if you hear me say the word polygon, that's what I'm referring to. The red polygons are tornado warnings. The yellows are severe thunderstorm warnings. And so the new tornado warning that has just come in is out of that warned cell that we were following in Chatham in southwestern Orange County. That is my first stop. And we've got many. We've got Caswell County. We've got Orange County. We've got Durham County, Chatham County, Harnett County, Cumberland County, Hope County, Wilson.
Boom, and the little dot.
It's bigger than a cat's head.
There's a what?
consistent, strongest winds were here on the Outer Banks.
Where they assembled their first glider. That's their step A.
That's right.
Step A
Yeah.
was the glider.
Right. Everybody said, no, no, it'll never happen. No, it'll never happen. You can't, man.
They called them flyers or liars. It was rough on those guys. 60 years later, we're on the moon. They're my heroes.
Look at that.
And hang on to your lunch.
It is more fun than you can imagine. We have a grin. We can't wipe the grin off our faces.
It just doesn't get any better than this.
The thrill of flight. And just imagine that first flight here on the Outer Banks. To paraphrase Wilbur Wright, there is no sport equal to being carried through the air on great white wings.
WRAL is the most watched news in the Triangle, morning, day, and night. With up-to-the-second breaking news updates.
Just in the Live Center.
5 on your side and WRAL investigations.
Why haven't we acted?
It was like a nightmare.
Weather coverage from the most experienced team of meteorologists in North Carolina. See for yourself. The most watched local news is on WRAL. Coverage you can count on.